It's your brother New Breed coming through with another live stream. Pound that like button on your way in. Nature Boy. Real name, Agilio Bishop. Got sentenced to life. Now, for those who are unfamiliar with who Nature Boy is, he's pretty much a cult leader of a group by the name of Carbon Nation. They've been around for quite some time. He is a quote-unquote polygamist who has been charged with rape of one of the women in the camp, as well as revenge porn, with a host of other charges that vary. Now, Nature Boy is a sick, diabolical person. I'm just going to put it out there. This is the same man who said that after intercourse with his wife, he allows his son to play with his phallus. That's Nature Boy. Nature Boy also was, bisexual. The man had transitions in the camp. The man was dealing with men and women. It's rumored, and these are just rumors, that it was diseases spread amongst the group. All type of perversion and wickedness happened within that camp. I'm talking about it's a sick dude right here. Now, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, something that all of these conscious community weirdos have in common is that they all are students of Malachi Z. York. And they also are all idolaters. They don't follow the one truth. See, idolatry is a very dangerous sin. They all into this Egyptology. They follow different gods, Horus, Ra, different ideologies and etymologies, and it normally leads people down a very dark path because they're dealing with demons, man. They're dealing with fallen angels, demigods, and it typically leads them down a dark path. And we have a pattern going on within the conscious community. You got let's see here. Yeah, they be practicing Buddhism and a host of other things, but you have a pattern going on with the conscious community. You had Rashad Jamal. He is now facing 18 years down here in Georgia. And I believe it's Barrow County. He's facing 18 years for child molestation, child abuse, child endangerment. Like, I don't know what's up with these sick, weird but they love touching on kids. Malachi Z. York, same thing. He had, he was spreading diseases to these children. Different ailments and things of that nature to the children. And he, I believe he died in prison, or he may still be there. I don't know. But there's a lot of people who came under Malachi Z. York. Brother Polite, same thing. He was a student of Malachi Z. York. And Brother Polite, you see where he at. He's incarcerated for what? Graping and, SA against a minor. With we talking about a woman he was dealing with, her daughter. He got with her daughter in a hotel room and violated her. Now, what is going on with these people? Where is this sickness coming from? Because it's downright demonic. It's downright demonic. Where's this sickness coming from? The fact that they're not following the Most High, and they're getting all of these people following behind them because they're soothsayers, they're wizards, they're warlocks. But people support these individuals because it's like people want to turn to everything but the truth. It's the weirdest thing in the world, right? It's like you see all these men who proposition themselves as gods, as demigods, as angels, as Nephilim, and it's like people actually believe that these people are somebody. And the truth is, the Bible is the truth. Torah is the truth. One thing about Egyptology and all these other religions, they don't have rules. They don't have any laws to live by. There's nothing to abide in. So when you leave a man to his own dark, sick lust and perversions, he's going to carry those out, especially if he has power. especially if people aren't doing their research, people are not studying, people are following these people blindly. You know, and this is why I always say, man, study to show yourself approved. It's supposed to be iron sharpening iron. You don't want to be a part of these damn cults. Now, Nature Boy. Yo, Nature Boy. Man, let's put this out here, off the break. And I want to say this because we got to look at how American society works. And I know it's going to affect my numbers because I just held people accountable for, you know, following behind these people and putting them into power. Even though y'all watching, y'all probably not responsible for that. More than likely, y'all be watching the truth, but you know how it is. But anyway, but let me say this. Now, with all I just said about Nature Boy, something is seriously wrong with this system because I'm going to say this. Why is P. Diddy still running around? Nature Boy is getting charged with the same thing P. Diddy allegedly did to Cassie. So what I'm seeing in this society is like there's a law within a law. There's certain oaths that people take. There's certain relationships that people have where it's the difference between getting a life in prison. We talking about life in prison and just a lawsuit. It's the money, man. It's the money. It's like if your money long enough, you can pay off anybody to do anything, bro. It's the craziest thing in the world. And I'm not no way, shape, or form trying to take up for Nature Boy. Nature Boy is sick, y'all. I done seen this man make videos with like another man playing with his phallus, and I mean, the man is sick, bro. Nature Boy is sick. He had video of him having his women doing various things together, engaging in certain activities together. And by the way, that's not what polygyny is. Men who practice polygyny don't be having a women doing things to each other. That's nasty. That's wickedness and that's whoredom. We don't get down like that. See, I practice polygyny, meaning I have more than one wife, right? I don't bring my wives in one bed. I don't disrespect my wives that way. I don't get down like that. These women just know that they, you know, they're mine, and we, you know, it is what it is. They're going to follow their king, their leader, and that just is what it is. We're not doing none of that freaky-ish, because one thing about it, stuff like that opens up Pandora's box. And that's what Nature Boy did. Nature Boy started off when Carbon Nation first started. I really didn't see anything wrong with what Nature Boy was doing. He was leaving the country. He was going to islands. He was trying to get away from the American type of society. And, you know, he had his wives, he had his tribe, and he had people who followed him. I didn't see nothing wrong with that to begin with. But then what happened? Because Nature Boy did not have a solid foundation, because Nature Boy wasn't standing on any law principles, he became his own God. And y'all know what they say about absolute power. Absolute power corrupts. So what happened is he corrupted himself and those around him. It's like a malignant root when a man turns evil and everybody was following that man. You'll be surprised how much these people trauma bond and how much power and authority that these people be having over these people's souls. It was so bad in Carbon Nation that there was rumors of diseases, there was rumors of abuse, there was rumors of torture, but it was people still signing up. It was still people following. It was still people coming, leaving and coming back like a revolving door. It was a crazy thing going on back then. Like, people who know, people who've been around YouTube for a minute, you know what was going on in Carbon Nation, man. It was real demonic. Now, the reason why Nature Boy was able to have this power over these people is because it was a demonic connection. It was a demonic stronghold. And I'm talking about some of the things that he said on camera should have been a red flag. Some of the things that Nature Boy was saying on camera, I mean, anybody with any level of discernment would be like, yo, whatever he got going on, this is sick. This is sick. And since Nature Boy didn't have a strong foundation and he opened Pandora's box, he started letting his wives intermingle. And let me tell you this right now. Men, if you have more than one woman, if you have more than one wife, and you open up that door and you try to put your wives together to kiss on each other and all of that, you are actually involving yourself in homosexuality. You're promoting homosexuality. Whether it's a guy on a guy or a girl on a girl, you are homosexual. If that's what you do with your women, you are homosexual. And Nature Boy opened that box up. And now all hell broke loose right after that. Right after that, Nature Boy started getting weirder and weirder and weirder. I'm telling y'all some real stuff, man. That's not of the scriptures. That's not of the truth. Turning women out and all of this kind of stuff. Yeah, he was bisexual. That's a fact. That's not something I'm making up. He was into dudes. I mean, there's one video that surfaced around where there's a transgender and he's in the background and Nature Boy is telling the other women, telling the real women, his so-called wives, he's telling them, this is your new queen. Telling his wives, this transition is your new queen. Bow before your queen. That's Nature Boy. Everything about this man was unnatural. You got Brother Polite, same thing. I warned y'all about these people. It's like for years, I've been warning the people, man. I've been talking about these things, these issues in the conscious community. Yo, the conscious community is sick. And anybody who follow behind these new ages, listen, you sick too, straight up. I'm just keeping it a buck. I can't make content without telling people what it is, man. And it is what it is. And I'm going to say this. And now y'all got to look out for the grifters in the conscious community. You got to look out for those who speak like us biblical believers. They use our terminologies. They use the word Babylon. They'll use our terminologies to try to nestle their way in, because they know that the conscious communities, they know that it has been so polluted and convoluted. They know the entire reputation of the conscious community is saturated in wickedness and perversion. They know this. So now you got these closet new ages, and they try to talk like me. That's what they do. A lot of them latch on to my talking points and other brothers in truth. They try to speak like us, right? They try to use biblical terms and all that, but on the low, they following different spirits, familiar spirits. And on the low, they dibble and dabbling with children too. And they doing all these things, but they try to act like us, talk like us. But really, they conscious community, they don't follow the word of Yah. They dealing with idol gods too. They dealing with the Amun Ra and all of these damn Aya Horus and the dog god and the cat god and spirit this and spirit that. But they'll try to act like they us, because they know how bad the conscious community is, man. Yeah, they straight up copycats. They don't even have no originality. Do you understand me? Somebody said Nature Boy was actually offered a plea deal. He denied it. Yeah, and Nature Boy is a fool. Not only did he deny the plea deal, and it looks a little foggy in here, so I'm sorry about the quality here. Let me see if I can fix this. That's a little bit better. Nature Boy also fired his lawyer last minute, which was crazy. He fired his lawyer. He was giving the judge a real hard time. And she slammed the gavel on him. Now, should Nature Boy have gotten life? Well, based on some of the things Nature Boy said about children, his own children to be exact, that's something to me I think is punishable by death, personally. That's my personal opinion. The Bible says, he who harms these little ones, it'd be better if they cast to the bottom of the sea. You know what I'm saying? With a great millstone tied about their neck. Anybody who just running around harming children, you know, that's, to me, that's punishable by death. That's just my personal opinion. And, you know, of course now, you know, we can't do that. We have laws in place in this system. If we was under the rod of the covenant, if we were back under the law of the Most High, but the land has went completely lawless, and the Most High put us back under the rod, a person violating a child in any way, they would be decapitated at least. You know, they would be stoned. You know what I'm saying? They will be like, that's punishable by death, in my opinion. So I'm not here to defend the sentence, especially the fact that Nature Boy seems unrepentant in the whole situation. But I will say that the system is flawed. How is it that Diddy running around bragging about how he shot somebody in the face and got Sean blamed for it? And all of this truth is coming out. Where the indictments at? How is it that Diddy's running around here? You know, this man is a damn real evil villain, right? He's a villain right now. All the people coming forward. And he's paying people off left and right. Should not Diddy have life in prison at this point? So I just feel like, yeah, Nature Boy, man, yeah, he's a real piece of ish. He's not a good man at all. It is what it is. But I mean, realistically speaking, bro, what's going on with Diddy? How this man on record for grooming, SAing multiple men, women, you know, allegedly being involved in hired hits to take Tupac out and Biggie, and how is this possible? But a YouTuber facing life, I don't understand that. And when you look at his charges, it doesn't look like, and I'm being honest, when you read his charges, it doesn't look like a life sentence. Now, I don't have no remorse or sympathy. It just doesn't look like a life sentence. On paper, it doesn't. But this is what happened when you are foolish, prideful, arrogant. I mean, he had chances. He did it to himself. He could have took the plea, number one. I mean, he did it to himself, dog. Like, you can't even begin to even have any type of compassion for a man like that, bro. The man got rid of his lawyer who was fighting for him. The man didn't take the plea. He knew what he did to those people, bro. He knew. So he got what came with it. And, you know, that Egyptology, that New Age mysticism, that Buddhism, y'all, is all garbage, man. And listen, I'm going to say this to the ladies out there listening. You got to know what a man believes. You got to know his belief system. You got to know what he's into. It's not good enough for a brother to just say he's spiritual or he's enlightened or he just like to read books. No. What laws do you live by, sir? Ladies, before you let any of these men up in your house, and you, especially you single mothers who have children, before you let any of these predators in your house, you need to find out, what do a man believe in? Because I can assure you, a man that upholds biblical principles ain't finna be touching no children, bro. A man who upholds biblical principles ain't finna be switch hitting, dealing with you Monday night and then dealing with another grown ass, hairy ass man Tuesday night. A man of the Bible ain't finna be doing no nasty, wicked, pervert stuff like that, bro. That's not finna happen. You understand? You ladies need to know, because there are rules in the Bible that govern us brothers in truth. There's laws that we live by. There's governing rules that we meditate on day and night. the laws that we follow become a part of us. They become a part of us. It's in the fiber of our being to be lawful men of order, of justice. We don't get down with the weird stuff. But see, by process of elimination, if a man ain't serving the Most High, he's serving the other side. Everything from my dietary, ceremonial, and as well as our moral and civil laws all are encompassed in our word. So when you dealing with some dude who part of the conscious community, he read up on Egypt, he studies spiritualism. I don't really have no beliefs. Ladies, this is a red flag. I'm about to tell y'all. When you hear a man say, oh, I'm just kind of trying to figure it out, I don't really have no beliefs, I'm into Egyptology or whatever, I read up on Egypt because we were kings and queens, and that's a red flag. Because he ain't telling you how nasty Egypt was. All that Nature Boy, Brother Polite, Rashad Jamal, they all follow Egyptology. You know what they were doing in ancient Egypt? All the men had male servants. That was also their lovers. They would shave all the facial hair off the men in Egypt. And all the men had ponytails and would wear makeup. And they would sleep with each other. This is Egypt. This is their customs. Have you did your research on Egyptology, on Egypt? And by the way, there's no such thing as Egyptology. Let me just put that out there. If you go to Egypt itself, they're going to look at you like you dumb as hell. That's something that these Negroes made up in America. You go to Egypt, you go to Morocco, you go to the so-called Middle East or the middle of Africa, they don't even know what Egyptology is. Because when the Most High destroyed Egypt, that was it. Them people follow Islam. Do you understand? Do you understand that Egyptology is not a religion? Negroes in America made it up. Malachi Z. York made it up. And that's who Brother Polite followed. And he followed in the same footsteps of his godfather. And that's why he's sitting in a jail cell right now. That's why Nature Boy's sitting up in a jail cell right now. Why? Because these are men who didn't have a law and rule. They were following the wrong gods. And those guys they were following wanted them to be in jail, wanted them to rot for eternity, wanted their souls. And you know what? Damn it, they got them. They got their souls. A lot of those brothers are going to die in jail. And then when Brother Polite get out, his career is over. And Umar Johnson, he ain't safe either. Let me say this too, Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon, let me talk to you, Nick Cannon, because I know you know who I am. I know they all know. Nick Cannon, let me talk to you for a minute, bro. Why you keep having Umar Johnson on your show and you ain't sent no invite to New Breed Global Truth? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. You from the VA, you from the DMV area. You giving this dude a platform who is acting like he doing what I done, bro. I done built relationships with the tribal community in Africa. I done went to Liberia and met dignitaries. I'm connected with Africa for real. The thing I didn't got, listen, the same land Marcus Garvey got offered to me and my team. Nick Cannon, but you got Dr. Umar on there acting like he do what I do. Only thing he known for is promising a school that he never brung forth. And I just don't understand. Like, Nick, you gotta get to this is what's gonna help your platform, your show, Nick. It's gonna help the both of us. I know you way bigger than me, but I'm just saying, bro, like, the streets know who doing what. These guys are gimmicks. If anything, I'm the prince of Pan-Africanism. And I don't follow Pan-Africanism, but I done been in Africa and met up with more people than Dr. Umar. I know more of the tribal community than Dr. Umar. He's a facade. He's a gimmick. Do you understand that? It's like y'all keep on giving these people platforms. I mean, did they take some oath? What's happening here? It's like the people who really about this, y'all don't want to give it no light. It's like this, man. And I'm not making this about myself, but let me say this. I've sat up here and I put in so much work. My contributions to the work in general is up there, man. And I sit up here and I watch you actors, I watch you podcasters, I watch you people shun my existence, but steal from me. I mean, how long am I supposed to remain humble before I start getting real arrogant on y'all? And I don't mean arrogant in a way of like full of myself, but I don't want to be that guy that just keep on talking about who I am. But I will, if I have to get you to realize what I've done with this community. It's like I'm so humble, I don't get the respect I deserve. It makes no sense. When I went out Africa, I should have been on Tel Aviv and Al Jazeera from the work that was being done. We should have been on Tel Aviv and Al Jazeera. That is huge, getting that land that we got up there. But anyway, I ain't gonna go into that because nobody really cares anyway. Who really doing what and what's really happening out here. But the point I'm trying to make is, man, the reason why Polite, Umar Johnson, he another one, he's a clown. Only thing Umar does is say to all the ladies. He don't hold nobody accountable for nothing. He bumps shoulders with the likes of Sukiana. You got all these damn idolaters out here who keep being pushed by the system. And the first time I seen Rashad Jamal, I knew that was a person that was evil. I could just tell by what he was saying. Never watched this material again. Watch one video. It only took me one video to watch. And it told me all I needed to know about Rashad Jamal. Just one video. Because I know these conscious community people. I've seen them come and go. And, you know, I hope young Pharaoh come around to the Bible, honestly. I hope young Pharaoh, you know, he went through what he went through. Fortunately, young Pharaoh didn't lose his life or his freedom, and he's still around. I don't have no problem with young Pharaoh. I remember how arrogant the brother was, and I remember how he was back then, and I knew that was going to be his downfall. And it is what it is. And all that black woman is God type of nonsense and all that, I knew that he had a lot to learn. I knew young Pharaoh had a lot to learn, but I hope that brother comes through to the Bible and ends up unscathed and learn this truth for real. Because, you know, young Pharaoh could be used for something else. That's just how I feel about that one. But I'm telling you, these brother polites, these nature boys. Somebody said young Pharaoh is zesty. I wouldn't, man, listen. Let me say this, bro. Look. All the people who follow Egyptology how do I say this? Because you're not supposed to, you know, offend people's belief systems or whatever. Egyptology don't exist, number one. But when you go to the root, the core of Egypt's customs, and you really study what the Egyptians were doing, they were gay. Real gay. Real gay, bro. Like, if you study their customs, bro. Now, to each his own. If that's the type of belief system that you want to get involved in, then it is what it is. But they also practice polygamy as well. Now, notice I said polygamy, not polygyny. For those who don't know the difference, polygamy is when men have multiple partners as well as women have multiple partners as well, right? Now, polygyny is just a man having more than one wife. No wickedness and perversion involved. No orgies, no threesomes. They're not calling themselves thruples. They're not sharing beds together. That's not how polygyny is practiced, right? But then you have polygamy, where it's more so, more or less a free for all. And that's what Egyptians practice, polygamy. So polygyny is the right way, the biblical way, the way that you live fruitful and multiply, the way that you expand your legacy, the way that you actually build dynasty. Is good for business. If you practice polygyny, you could take over whole towns. We're talking about your family can be the governors. Your family can take over whole cities. Why? Because if you're a man with, let's say, 5 or 6 wives, and you bear about 13 to 15 children, guess what? Those children are going to grow up and your family name going to be strong. You're going to live forever through your family name. And they just building, growing, developing. They all have their directives from the father on what the mission is. So even when you gone, you got your legacy still here. That's what polygyny is about. Polygyny is about giving a covering to these women. Nature Boy took advantage of the covering. These women really loved Nature Boy, bro. Now, imagine that. You get these women to leave their hometowns. They'll follow you anywhere. They'll follow you into another island, Barbados. I think that's where they went. They'll go live in nature with you, bro. And you're their covering. This is what makes him such a sick person. Anybody who would do this. You literally are in charge of these women. You are like a father figure and their spiritual advisor. You are their lead. And these women, you just take advantage of them. You turn them out. You abuse them. You make videos with them and use it as revenge corn. You like, that's sick, y'all. That's sick. And that's what Nature Boy was doing. Somebody said a utter failure. Yeah, I guess he was an utter failure, because now he's in jail for life. I'm talking about the judge gave the man life. It's over. It's over. This man's life is done. Now, I don't know if it's life without the possibility of parole, but when you hear that L, when you hear the judge use that L word, man, that's the biggest L you gonna take. That's the biggest L you gonna take. He went from having a large following to having a tribe that was supportive of him. Beautiful wives. He went from all of that to an 8x8 cell. Not even 8x8. Them joints is like 5x5 to a 5x5 cell. Eating slop. Eating Jack Mac. And it's all because he didn't have a biblical foundation. It's all because he didn't have rules and regulations that govern him. So, and this is what happened with man. This is what happened with man. A man believes because he can attract certain things to himself, he started to feel full of himself. He started to feel like everything that he's done is of his own doing. See, when a man of the Most High get a wife, he know the Most High gave him that wife. When a man of the Most High has people that's following him, he know it's because the Most High wants certain people to follow him in a different direction. When a man of the Most High has leadership and has a position, he knows it's because the Most High wanted him to have that position. So everything we do is going to be delegated through the Father. We not out here moving like that. And I'm gonna say this. Let me tell y'all something. I've been doing this for many years, and you will be surprised the persecution that I've been through behind the scenes based on what the people of the conscious community do. You'll be surprised how many times I got compared to Nature Boy or got compared to Brother Polite. Oh man, you would be surprised. I ain't guilty of none of the things they done. But because people see how they get down, how they practice polygamy, and then they see my lifestyle, although I haven't done these things, I'm not that type of man. I have to get persecuted for that. I have rumors spread on me, lies told on me. I've had people who I looked out for, done nothing but look out for them. Just out of nowhere, because they've seen Brother Polite, or they've seen Rashad Jamal, or they heard about Malachi Z. York, or they heard about the little nasty escapades that they got going on in the conscious community. I'm talking about people that I've looked out for, and they just don't understand polygyny, so they literally have spread lies and rumors on me. I've been called things that you wouldn't believe, things I ain't guilty of. Imagine somebody calling you a child molester, and you ain't never molested a child a day in your life, and you would never harm a child. Never crossed your mind like you would die before you would harm a child. Matter of fact, your whole thing is about protecting the youth and young, and somebody call you a child molester based on what these nasty niggas is doing. Do you know how hurtful that is, bro? To be called something that's the worst thing that you can call a man. That's the worst thing that a man could be called. That's the worst charge that you can get on you. And to be called those things based on what these nasty Negroes doing, I have a very disdain for those guys. Because not only did they harm the people around them, but they harm black men as a whole. There was a mass misrepresentation of us as a whole. And you know how bad that hurts us when it comes to nation building and actually coming together doing what's righteous. For many years, that's been a thorn in real men's side, the conscious community. And now I'm glad that we seeing them fall. I'm rejoicing. Not a leaf far from a tree without the Most High say so. So now you see all these brothers getting thrown in jail and casted away. All praises to the Most High. Now let's let the real men show these weirdos and these perps how to really practice our culture the righteous way, because that's what's coming. I mean, for many years, these guys have been a problem. That's real talk. Somebody said, that's really the only way they can take you down. If you accused of pedophilia, it's your reputation based. Right. Yeah, I've been accused by these things only based on what they see online. Not that I've ever harmed a child, but only based on the fact, oh, this new breed, dude, he practiced polygyny. I wonder if he like Brother Polite. Oh, I wonder if he like what's the other dude, Malachi or Rashad Jamal, or any of those. False accusations, all it is. But it's based on the programming, because you seeing these guys on the news, man. But yo, the moral of this story, the moral of what you should be learning from all of this, brothers and sisters, study to show yourself approved. And ladies, also, let me say this, you can't just trust any man. And I can't stress that enough. The Bible tells us, and everybody get the likes up, let's get it. If you're learning something, pound the like button. The Bible tells us that in the last days, that silly women will go whoring after, literally. And share that scripture, if you will, ladies and gentlemen, where it says, go whoring after wizards. And it also says that they will be silly women led through diverse lust. That's what Nature Boy did. He led all his wives into diverse lust. And Nature Boy is an incubus. He's an incubus demon. And he totally corrupted every person that he came in contact with. Nature Boy had such a grip over those people in that cult. He had grown men who came in there heterosexual, left with they buttholes blown out. That's what was happening in that damn camp, bro. Men who came out there men and left out of there transitions. This type of stuff was happening. Second King. There we go, right there. Second Timothy, I mean. That's the scripture I was looking for. 2 Timothy 3:6. For of the sort of they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women, laden with sins, led away with diverse lusts. That's what he did. He took advantage of silly women, meaning women who are green, wet behind the ears, naive. They just see a handsome brother that got, a following or whatever the case is, and they like, yeah, this has to be something to follow. They just silly. They airheads. Silly woman is an airhead, bro. And what Nature Boy did was he selected airhead women, right, who perhaps didn't have their fathers in the picture to show them the ways of some of these men, because there's some vultures out there. There's some real wolves in sheep's clothing out there. And Nature Boy seen these women. He selected the women who were naive, and he turned them out. He was having his own personal, it was like his own personal playground with their souls. He took their weak minds and he manipulated them and had them turning, like they were literally swapping women. Like one week, you'll see one sister in combination. She'll be with one man. Next week, she'll be with the next one. And I believe Nature Boy took somebody else's wife. I think the woman Velvet, she was with one dude. Then Nature Boy took her. Crazy, bro. I mean, they were literally swapping these women. Nothing natural about this. Somebody said wizards are very tricky. Man, what? I mean, they're only tricky if you don't have the discernment. They're only tricky if you're not reading the word. If you're not in your scriptures. If you're not, studying to show yourself approved. If you don't know the word, you're in trouble. Somebody said 200 likes versus 900 people. Y'all, I know my likes ain't at 200. I can see the likes, bro. It's almost at 600. Let's get the likes up to 700, y'all. Somebody said, did Dr. Sebi find a cure for STDs? Yes, he did, but they took Dr. Sebi out. And it was rumored that he tried to contact Denzel Washington and Oprah. That was a rumor. I don't know. I'm not going to gossip, but that's what I heard, bro, in the streets. Somebody said, you'll be a fool if you don't read the word. Yeah, and here's the thing. When you think about all the controversy that Carbon Nation was shrouded in, you would think a lot of people wouldn't even gravitate towards that group, but they had members. I mean, I'm talking about members of all walks of life. It wasn't just melanated people. Even though it's called Carbon Nation, it wasn't just melanated people. They had people of all nationalities in there. I'm talking about, it was everybody. And they running around the woods naked, tree hugging. A lot of them walked around naked all the time. You know what I'm saying? And bruh, it's amazing what some men are able to do when they've been controlled by the devil. It goes to show you that the world is truly been given into the hands of the wicked. Because if there's some powerful demons out there that can take people and they can have a charisma that really appeals to a person's lower self to the point where they can really psychologically get a grasp on them. And, I've studied psychology somewhat. And when I look at these cult leaders and stuff, it never really ceases to amaze me because I can see right through them. But it never ceases to amaze me how people blindly follow these people. I mean, when you think about the Jonestown massacre, and you think about Jim Jones, like, how was this able to happen, bro? Like, how, bro? It show you that people aren't all that difficult to manipulate. And Satan knows this. Satan knows people are not that difficult to manipulate. As long as somebody is appealing to your lower self, it's easy. But when you speaking right and you correcting people and you telling the truth, you crying aloud, you sparing not, you showing people their transgressions, you holding a mirror up, you like, yo, we got to make some changes. Yo, it's very difficult to lead people that way because there's you're met with a lot of resistance, and you never really, you know, people never can really feel you all the way because they want you to appeal to every senses. They want you to appeal to the lower self too. And that's what Nature Boy, Rashad Jamal, all these guys, this is what they do. They speak on things that are high vibrational. They speak on things that are positive to appeal to that side of you. But they also have material that is very low base, low frequency, and people become obsessed because it's like, all right, I'm feeding all my carnalities, I'm feeding my flesh as well as my spiritual thirst or hunger as well. And this is why it's so dangerous, why it feel like they get you. That's why you can never look at the truth like a drug, like something that you just listen to get you through the day. Nah, man, you got to take heed to the words that are being said. Go study what was said, meditate on what was said, and really understand, was that a message that you just took in? Was that a message that's going to better your life? Discernment is key. The Bible says, beloved, believe not every spirit. Test the spirit to see if they are of Yah. Somebody said, true man just feels so high on my mind. I don't know what that meant. Yes, God Chosen says, people are so focused on what makes them feel good, so they don't really comprehend what is actually being said. Absolutely. And it's true. And everybody, do me again, one solid. We almost at 700. Pound the like button if you gain an insight. Hit the like button, y'all. Help drive traffic, because this is a positive message that can really spread some awareness and protect children at the end of the day. That's really what I want to hone in on, because it's not enough for a man to just say he's spiritual. You know, I follow this and follow that. Nah, it's not enough. Yo, thank you for the support. Devon says, 2 Corinthians 13:5. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how that Christ is in you, except ye be reprobates. Exactly. How are you going to know truth if you don't understand your own self? And if you don't study to show yourself approved? That's facts. But you know, it kind of is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. I got more content coming. I got more music coming. And also, ladies and gentlemen, check my community section. Please check my community section. My wife 3, that's her artist name 3. Go subscribe to her channel. If you go in my community section, the link is over there. You know, she's putting out some fantastic music right now, and I'm listening to, you know, I get to see the whole creative process, and some of the things she's about to put out is fire, and it definitely deserves y'all's listen. You don't have too many female artists that's actually creative, that's actually reverencing the Most High and doing their thing the right way. And she's one of them. And a lot of the songs, you know, a few of the songs I'm going to be featured on. So, you know, go in my community section, go subscribe to her channel. Plenty of Gold is her song I just featured, and Plenty of Gold is now featured on there. And she got a slew of other tracks that's coming on the way, right? You know, this family business here. So definitely go show y'all support. Let's get her We got to get her to 1,000 subs, y'all. We got to get her to 1,000 subs soon as possible. And that's what it is, man. Let's do that. Her name is, you can go in my community, just go in the community section and look at my last post. Go in the community section, look at my last post, and then you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button and see what's going on over there. And everybody, before I close out, y'all leave a like button behind, leave a like button at the door so we can spread this to more people, because it's like they don't want to open up the algorithm to a new audience. Listen, people need to hear what's being said over here, y'all. So don't be stingy. If you know that this channel is a jewel and you learn a lot over here, yo, share it so other people can get it, right? It's up to us to kick down the door and put out a positive message. But anyway, I got more content coming. Thank each and every one of y'all. Y'all have a blessed day. With that being said, shalom and peace.